Hey everybody, it's Christine, and I have a really powerful vlog this week about breaking patterns. Patterns are ways of thinking, ways of feeling, ways of reacting, or things that we're attracting in our life that are just not getting us where we want to go, aren't creating the results that we want externally or the feelings that we want internally. And why this is so powerful to work on right now is because kind of in the cosmos, like what all of us are going through in the unconscious collective is an opportunity to break patterns, which means for a lot of us right now, our patterns are right in our face. So you may feel a little stuck right now. You may find yourself engaging in old behavior that you really don't like about yourself, or like old feelings or situations that you don't want to be in are kind of coming back in your life. And the reason why you're kind of back in it is so that you have the opportunity to break a pattern. We can't break a pattern until we're in it, because we break patterns through shifting behavior. So it has to kind of be active for us to be able to break it. So if you're really in it right now, you're not alone. And I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process of how to do this. So the first thing you want to do is really be aware of what's the pattern that's up for you to break. And I encourage you to really sit in meditation or use journaling if meditation that doesn't work for you, or a combination of them both. Really ask yourself, ask your higher self, ask spirit, what is the pattern that is really self-defeating, self-limiting right now that's up for me to clear? What's most important for me to clear right now? And you may already have a sense of it. For a lot of people that I've been working with lately, the pattern that's super up for them is people-pleasing. Like worrying about someone else's opinion, putting other people first, and not making self-honoring choices. So we'll use that as an example. So once you get the awareness of the pattern, then the second step is to become a spiritual scientist, as I like to call it, or an investigator, where you really examine it. You examine, how did it come into your life? How does it operate in your life? What are the thoughts? What are the feelings? What is the behavior? What's the story that goes along with it? And when you're in observation mode, you don't want to be judging it. You just want to be examining it like a scientist would be examining a petri dish or through a microscope or whatever scientists do. So as you're examining it, you don't want to change it yet, because before we can change something, we want to be aware of what it is. Now, the next two steps are the most important, because awareness is not enough. Awareness gives you leverage, it gives you insight, but for things to change, awareness is never enough. We have to go into action. So the third step is about creating some kind of ceremony or some kind of ritual where you draw a line in the sand and you declare that you are breaking this pattern. And you can get super creative with your ritual. It can be whatever you want to do. Why am I saying ceremony or ritual, and what do I mean by that? So, the unconscious mind, which drives about 90 to 95% of our behavior. We think we're consciously driving our behavior, but really it's unconscious programming that drives so much of our behavior, responds really well to ritual or ceremony. So that can be anything like writing out a document. It can be something like writing a letter and burning it. It can be doing something in nature where you throw something into the water, or you scream something in a forest, or something tangible where you declare that you're breaking this pattern. You could take a bath and watch the water drain out of the sink. You could write a contract and rip it up saying you're done with it. Get creative here. You could do a painting. There are lots of ways you can't do it wrong. It just has to be something ceremonial, something kind of in a ritual format that tells your unconscious mind, I'm breaking this pattern. Okay? And then the fourth step is to commit to at least 30 to 40 days, I say 40 days, of changing the behavior. So change only occurs when we change behavior. So you commit to doing something, a little something every day where you're taking a different action than your normal pattern. When we're breaking patterns, we consistently have to choose the opposite, go in the other direction, shift, go, oh, there's the pattern, because we're going to naturally go towards it, and move a different direction instead. Now, another really important thing to consider when you're working through these steps is, what is the payoff of that pattern? Because even something like people-pleasing, we can look at the costs and go, wow, it costs me making self-honoring choices, it depletes me energetically, I'm not doing what I want, I'm obsessed with what other people think. The costs are really obvious. What's the payoff? Well, the payoff is you get to avoid confrontation, people like you don't have to worry about upsetting anyone. So with these patterns, there's always a payoff. And you want to look at how else can I get that payoff in a more self-honoring way, in a healthier way. So make sure you give yourself another way to get a payoff other than the way the pattern was getting it for you. Okay, so I know this is a longer vlog. I know that this can kind of seem like a lot and intense, and I wrote it out in the blog for you, so the steps are all written there. But I really want you to leverage this time when we're all working on pattern interruption and pattern breaking together. Just know that together we can do it. We can break patterns that aren't getting us where we want to go. So get to your meditation pillow or your journal. Start to really consider what this is and give yourself this gift of liberating yourself from your patterns that are holding you back so that you can step more fully into your purpose and into all the love and the light that you have to share in the world. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below, and I will see you next week.